RC family, what's up, y'all? Hey, got a special guest in the house tonight, my boy Jason Snyder from Short Course World, the CEO from Raw Speed. Hey, got a good little show for you tonight. Barb RC, what's going on, man? How you doing? But yeah, like I said, we got my boy Jason Snyder in the house tonight on the RC Lounge, y'all, and just like I said, we just laid back, chill conversation. So everybody go and get some popcorn, some chips, get you a little something to drink. You know, we just gonna talk like we talking to pitch. You know what I'm saying? So y'all already know. So but yeah, y'all, let me bring them on in. And y'all can get to know the man, the original YouTuber before all these other big guys that hit it big on YouTube. He was the pioneer. So let me bring him on in. We can just talk it up. Here we go. Jay.
Hey.
What's up, bro?
Not too much, my friend. I appreciate you having me on today.
Oh man, ain't no problem, bro. Like I said, man, this is just an honor, man, just to bring it out, man, and just hear some and share some knowledge with my, like I said, man, I don't call them followers, because like I said, I call them my RC family, because they done supported me since day one. And you know, if it wasn't for them, it wouldn't be me, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you jumping in and just coming on with me, and just, you know, we just gonna talk.
No pressure. For sure, man. Whatever you have in mind, I'm game.
Yes, sir, man. And just tell everybody who you are, where you're from.
My name's Jason, and I'm an RC nerd. You know, I love RC cars. I started a YouTube channel a few years ago just to have fun, and it was called Short Course World.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I had the opportunity, or the fortune, I guess you might call it, to be able to start my own RC company. And so I own Raw Speed RC, and we make we are a made in America RC tire company. We make tires, bodies, wheels, things like that. So yeah, I mean, just
everything you need. That's it.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Wayne RC, what's up, y'all? We got Bob RC, Robert, what's up? Wayne, what's up? But yeah, man. So what made you come up? Okay, we're gonna start off with the Short Course World and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
So what made you come up with Short Course World? How did that come about? What happened?
You know, I just loved short course trucks. It was kind of a wave. It was incredibly popular back around 2010 when I got back into RC.
Yeah.
So I had raced RC cars for a short time when I was younger, like in the 90s.
Okay.
Late 90s. And then I put it down, and then I started racing again in 2010, and short course was huge. So I had a whole bunch of different short course trucks. A good buddy of mine, Mike Nelson, who still races back in the Midwest.
Yeah.
We raced short course together, and we competed. And it was just a time that was, I guess maybe I'm looking back through like rose colored glasses, but I have some nostalgia for that. There was, you know, guys like me and Mike Frazier and Mike Nelson, and just Eric, and all these guys that I raced with. We had an amazing community of guys that were incredibly competitive.
Yeah.
And short course was just super fun. It was just a super fun class. And so because that was really my primary class that I raced, I just thought that Short Course World was an appropriate name for a YouTube channel. I had no idea at the time that short course, you know, its popularity could fade. You know, I didn't know. I
Right.
came back and it was the popular thing, so I thought it would stay the popular thing. Obviously, I was wrong, but
Yeah.
that's why I named it that way.
Hey man, but like I said, man, it was a success.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
said, it inspired 90% of the RC car, you know what I'm saying, YouTube channels that's out now. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, now there's just so many guys. You know, it's funny. I'll never forget. Ty Tessman's dad once asked me, he's like, he used to tease me, like, Jason, one of these days somebody's going to come along and they're going to be better than you or whatever. And I'm like, listen, I'm sure it won't take long.
yeah,
And now, we have guys like Ryan Styles Harris, and
right,
Ryan's, oh man, his content, like his production value,
right,
his storytelling, it's better than mine ever was. My
yeah,
wife and I, we laugh about it. My wife's like, you were like my wife always says, Jason, you were like the friendly neighborhood technician. You
yeah,
loved the technical nature of the cars and the
right.
builds and just
Hmm.
making things perfect.
Yeah,
She said, but like when she watches like a video from like Ryan Harris, she's like, man, Ryan does a great job at like taking you on an adventure with him.
yeah,
And not only that, but like, don't get me wrong, I tried to use good equipment, a decent camera and stuff like that and good
right.
lighting.
Hmm.
But the kind of artistry
Right.
of all the different shots and the storytelling and just, yeah, there's I know that I was one of the early guys out there, and by the way, I can't take credit for being the first, because there are guys, obviously. There's a guy that's gone now. There was a guy that I used to watch named Squirrel that did a
Yeah.
lot of videos and stuff.
RC Squirrel. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
He
yeah, he
never
was.
showed his face or anything like that. And
But
of course, there's RC Sparks. I think I was kind of like one of the earlier, maybe one of the first guys to really do the die-hard focus on the racing scene,
yeah, right,
And now there's other guys out there. Like I said, Ryan Styles Harris, Mark Santa Maria. I mean, let's be honest, there's lots and lots of guys. I can't even name them all now, but
yeah,
I'm glad when I watch YouTube. It makes me smile to see more and more people making content for our little industry. I'm thankful for it, honestly.
right, right. Like I say, it's just been helpful for me, man. Just doing them because it actually made me pay um more attention to like my race program, my
Sure.
preparation, you know what I'm saying, my maintenance and all that. Because you don't want to be doing videos and then you go to the track, then your stuff, you know what I'm saying, all crazy.
Get your butt kicked. Believe me,
Right.
I've been there. I've been there.
So it makes you really focus on the little details of maintenance and make sure everything's clean and make sure everything's on point, because you don't want, like I said, you want to be out there looking crazy and you're on YouTube making videos and your stuff ain't right, So, but yeah, man. So when you was doing it, like how often would you organize your videos? How would you schedule them to, to drop? And it's just some stuff that,
Well, so to be fair, when I started, it was completely full 100% random. Just like, in fact, some of my earliest videos that are still up, like if you go sort my videos by like age or popularity or whatever,
right,
some of my first videos ever were like me and my buddy Mike that I had mentioned earlier. We would film each other's runs.
right,
And I was just tired of getting ran over. It's like you lead every lap, and then in the last lap, somebody blows through the back of your car.
right,
And so some of it was just like us filming our runs to either like evaluate and try to improve our driving skills or our setups, or so that we had evidence, so that when we went into the pits, we could talk trash about the guy that just ran us over. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you ran me over. I've got it on film.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, as far as that, how often, like, did you plan, like, when you organized and got them recorded, what did you release them at a certain time or anything like that?
I never, this is where I think you'll find this is where I think you'll find so many guys have found a level of success that I never did.
Yeah,
There are a lot of I really believe in my heart, there's a lot of factors that contribute to success in probably anything.
yeah,
You can have good content, and that's all well and good, but just like you and I were kind of talking about a few minutes ago, before we kind of started recording, if you want subscribers, just like we were laughing about the shows we watched growing up, like the $6 Million Man, or
right,
whatever, Airwolf, or whatever you watched.
yeah,
Subscribers, I think the idea of a subscriber is that it's someone that comes to watch your channel and they want to look forward to the next piece of content, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to subscribe if they only want to watch today's video. They're going to subscribe when they believe you're making good enough content that it's so good they want to come back.
Right.
And so if you foreshadow things about the next video in your current video,
Yeah.
and then you tell them, hey, my next video is dropping at a given time,
Mm-hmm.
they already have what you're doing is you're setting an expectation so that they know what's going to be in that video and when they can see it, and
Right.
they're more likely to subscribe. I never did any of that. I was just kind of like doing it off the cuff. Like if I saw a good idea,
Right.
a few of my videos, like Advanced RC Driving or Joe's versus Pros, where we kind of did the ghost overlay footage, some of those I had kind of dreamed up and thought about and planned.
Right.
But a lot of my videos weren't that way. A lot of them were just me firing up the camera because in the moment I was motivated or, all enthusiastic about a specific topic or car or something like that,
Right. Yeah. So after you got everything recorded and you figured out what you was going to do, just some tips and what kind of camera equipment was you using, or what would you recommend?
For my first few years, I used like an iPhone 4. For my first year or so, I used an iPhone 4. Then I bought a little Canon Vixia. And the reason I bought a Vixia is because it had an external microphone input. So obviously today we have things like AirPods and all kinds of different microphones that can be used in your phone. I'll tell you right now, here's a little secret. I still work on some other YouTube channels, and I have a dedicated iPhone just for making content. That one's not even connected to a phone carrier.
I got you. Yeah.
I just shoot all my content on it. I edit a lot of it in a software called Splice. If you've ever heard of Splice, it's a relatively inexpensive piece of editing software. On my appropriate PC or on my laptop, I use Adobe Premiere Pro.
Okay.
And so my two top tier pieces of gear that I have today are a Canon 80D and Adobe Premiere Pro, but you just don't need that anymore. The phones are so good today that you just don't need like a true, DSLR or a mirrorless camera. You just don't need it.
Right. I got you. Yeah. Because like I said, I do it. Like you said, I do mine on my Galaxy 9. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. I mean, yeah, the Galaxy camera.
It's just real convenient. You know what I'm saying? And then we be at the track, and you really don't want to carry, you know what I'm saying, your inexpensive.
Oh man, you don't want to drag around a $2,000 camera and batteries. Yeah.
And dirt.
Not only that, but if I was just talking to a guy, to a team manager the other day, and they were talking about making content for the drivers.
Yeah.
And I just said, yeah, if I could just get a couple laps. They're like, let's be honest, man, we don't even need a couple laps. We need like 20 seconds for TikTok.
Yeah.
30-second reel tops.
Yeah.
And so if you make that content on a DSLR, you end up not using the camera. You need to put it on the phone or on the laptop to post it, right?
Right.
I'll show you 1 second. I know I'm off camera.
Go ahead. You good? You good? That's how we laid back. If you want to get something to drink, you can do that too.
No, I have I had an adapter. 1 second here. So this, it's kind of a running joke. My buddy Leland, he's a Galaxy guy. I bust Leland's chops all the time. I'm an iPhone guy. He's a Galaxy guy.
I got you. Yeah.
And there's no question that almost every other phone manufacturer has better technology, but Apple has great integration, like iMessage and FaceTime.
They do.
But like for my Apple phone, I bought this. This is just a little SD card adapter. And so I can shoot all of my footage on my Canon that I want, that's super high resolution or super zoomed out or whatever.
Right.
Or I can run a multiple camera setup. I put my SD card in this and I plug this into my Red phone, and now I can upload that footage directly into my phone for editing. So it's kind of like an all-in-one right on the phone,
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's a good piece of equipment to have, that adapter like that. So.
Yeah, it's a cheap adapter that kind of creates like a force multiplier with your camera system.
Cool, man. That's what's up. So, have you thought about getting back into it, man? Creating some more content?
I have. So I've got a couple of cool things that we're working on. So we've got a couple new I'll show you one thing for raw speed that I'm working on. So this is a body for one of the minis, one of the mini trucks. I designed this inside of a 3D design software.
Okay.
So we've got this, and that's something that I want to start making some content for people that are curious about RC manufacturing.
Right.
But I do have this, and this is something I got a while ago, and me and Adam both got these. He's got the associated one.
Okay.
And this is my Nitro converted TLR stadium truck.
That's nice right there.
And so I'm pretty pumped. There's 100% certainty sooner or later, maybe later, there's going to be a video on Short Course World of us running these gas stadium trucks. And I'll tell you why. I think Nitro is an amazing segment of our hobby.
Right.
There's so much value in it, but the skill and kind of competency required to compete in Nitro is a pretty far reach for a guy that just bought his first Slash or his stock buggy.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking multiple diffs and sway bars and droop, and there's a whole myriad of adjustments that on an 8-scale buggy that you don't have on a 10-scale buggy.
Yeah.
That's then compounded by clutches and springs and tuning and fuel and pipes and whatnot.
Right. Yeah, and it can be.
So I think that I'm really convinced that these Nitro stadium trucks are the perfect kind of transition into Nitro 8-scale racing.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I've been helping a guy, cool guy, man, named Alex, man. He's got a one of those Slayers, like a Trax. It's like a Traxxas. It's like a Slash, but it's called a Traxxas Slayer, which is it's like a 2-wheel drive truck that's run off, gas power, nitro power. So just been helping them tune it and everything. And the industry, we need something like that to help somebody transition.
It's not easy, yeah. It's a skill. It's
from like electric,
skill,
from electric to gas, and it just, what I'm saying, it's just a good thing to help them learn and tune and get everything, together, and so they can just, when they get it down pat, they ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So since you might get back into it, man, just going back to Short Course World, man. Did you think it was gonna blow up like it did and catch fire like it did? And
I never did. I never did. In fact, I was actually talking to, what's cool is I've made friends with other creators, right? So I don't know if you've ever had a chance to watch the RC Network, but like I've always enjoyed Rich's videos. And I've had the chance to kind of, create, like, I would say it's a friendship. It's an acquaintance. Every couple months we shoot texts back and forth. He's a good guy. I love his content. And no, I never really knew what to expect. And more importantly, I didn't care. Yeah. And I think that's a big difference. I truly believe in my heart to you and to all the other people that are doing this.
Right.
If you do this from the heart and you genuinely want to do the best for your viewers, I think that people will see that sooner or later. Corey, I think you can BS a guy once. You might be able to BS him twice. You can't BS them forever. Sooner or later, they're gonna know you're pulling some shady stuff. So I think if you're making content because you truly want to have fun and you enjoy it, I just think it kind of shows in the video.
Right. Mm-hmm. So. Correct. So yeah, but yeah, man. Like I said, I just from that I was going to just go into just giving like 5 things that you would tell someone that's want to be like a content creator doing, doing the RC stuff. So.
Well, first of all, I would say it's tough. And let me tell you why this is difficult for me to share.
Yeah.
I shouldn't tell you this, but I told Ryan Harris when I first kind of became with Ryan, I'm like, stop making RC videos. He's like, why? I said, you're too damn talented. So look, we are a small. If you're gonna make race videos, we're small, right?
Right.
I don't think that you're ever gonna see a guy that makes race only. I shouldn't say ever. I hate using ever and never. I don't think it's likely that in the near future we're going to see a guy that makes race-oriented content get like 1 million subscribers, okay? Because the audience is just very narrow. Like if you're going to like 3D print some wings and put it on your Slash and jump it off a cliff, you might get like 1 million subscribers for doing those kind of wild, crazy, you know, Dude Perfect or whatever, Peter's 3-Paul videos. But I do think that when I started, it never occurred to me that I could earn a living. It was Rich from the RC Network that one day was like, hey, man, did you know that if you turned ads on, like you should make like, I don't know, X amount of dollars? And I was like, Rich. Just, you know, at the time it was like, I don't know, maybe $400 or $500 a month or something. He's like, yeah, if you turned ads on, you'd make $400 or $500 a month. I'm like, not possible.
Yeah.
And so I, you know, when he said this to me, keep in mind, I had never put ads on because I just wanted people to watch the videos. I never looked at Short Course World like a body of work.
Right.
I looked at it like, hey, I made a bunch of videos, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I decided to turn the ads on one day, and boom, next month I think I made $400 or $500.
Man,
it was crazy. Yeah, it's like, whoa. Of course, now I think it makes like $30. You know, like it's kind of nosed over. When you don't put the effort in, it kind of noses over. But
it does.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Would you tell somebody to go make videos where they can like let's just say max out at let's just say $500 a month, or would you rather tell them to go make videos where they, first of all, if they're gonna have fun making videos,
yes sir. Mm-hmm.
If they say, hey, look, I don't want to, if they only want to make RC videos, I would encourage them to do it for fun. Right. But if there's a chance that they want to do it and generate an income or make a career out of it, I'd be very careful, because if you choose something like health and fitness or real cars or any market that has a huge audience, like you see these girls doing makeup tutorials, or you see people doing drag racing videos. Some of these markets are so big that these guys are making 50 grand a month. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it's like, if you want to make RC videos because you love them and you enjoy them, for sure, do it. Just make sure that your expectations aren't too high for the income. That's all.
I got you.
So let me give you a fair answer. If I had to give you 5 tips, it would be try to choose a market you really enjoy. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you try to upload on a consistent schedule. Okay. Choose topics that you enjoy, but are also relatively popular. Right. 4, honor your audience. Do not ever trade your audience for deals with manufacturers or anything like that. You got to pick a loyalty in the game. Right.
That's what we do, man.
You got to pick a loyalty. Right. Your loyalty should be the view. In my opinion, the loyalty is to the viewers. Unfortunately, that means you're going to piss some people off. You're going to piss some manufacturers off, and that's the way life is. And 5th is probably just try to do it as consistently as you're able to. Yeah. Because I really believe that you move a mountain a spoonful at a time. Yeah. One great video. Think about this. I don't want to pick on anybody, so I'm not going to name names. But there's a few pro RC racers that have put out videos through the years that have got like 1 million or 2 million views. Okay. Yeah. So if they got 2 million views with one video, why don't they have 50,000 subscribers?
You right about that.
Because that video alone doesn't motivate someone to subscribe. It's that continuous release of quality information or entertainment that makes people want to subscribe, right?
Just staying consistent and, like you said, keeping it real and
just be straight with people, man.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, bro. Like I said, man, I appreciate that. And so just transitioning from Short Course World.
Sure.
So what sparked the idea of developing the Raw Speed, your company?
Man, let me tell you something. The day I started racing RC cars, in 2010, when I had to spend $65 on tires, I always thought, damn it, I want my own tire company. You know what I mean? Like, this is too much money.
Right, them tires are expensive.
And so I literally casually talked about a tire company for years. I mean, this isn't a joke. Since like 2010, I told people, man, I'm going to start a tire company. It was kind of like me telling people I'm going to win the lottery. Like, I never actually thought I would do it. Yeah. And then sometime in, I want to say mid 2015, something happened and it kind of became a reality. I knew that it was time. I needed to do something because things had changed in my life, financially and business wise. And so I needed something to do. And my wife and I kind of gave this some thought. And I had never touched SolidWorks. That's
Yeah.
the CAD software we used to draw.
Software you use. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know nothing. I've never manufactured a thing in my life. I didn't know anything about anything. And
Yeah.
I just kind of thought, at the time, there were brands like J Concepts that I want to say Jason, either Jason designs everything or he's got a team that designs things.
Okay.
And their
Yeah.
tires were coming out of Asia. And I
Yeah.
just thought, I'm going to design things and I'm going to have them coming out of Asia just like everybody else does. And it kind of started off okay. And then I won't bore you guys with the details, but I got burned really, really bad by a company in China.
Oh, man. Yeah.
And so I decided, man, I'm either going to lose everything me and my wife have invested, or I can either do that, or I can buy a rubber press. And so I invested some money and bought a rubber press. And
here we
then
are.
The company that was making our molds said, we won't make molds for you anymore. So then I either had to learn to make molds or we could only make the tires that we already had molds for.
Right.
And so my back was just kind of against the wall. And in between this and the last few years, I've had a couple of spine surgeries. The world experienced a pandemic. I mean, it's been a hell of a ride, to be honest.
Right. Yeah. Because like I said, my next question was, what has been some of the hurdles that you had to, jump over, getting started? You know what I'm saying? Just getting started.
Well, early on, I'm not going to say names, but somebody started some really aggressive rumors about me.
Right.
Somebody created some rumors, which are 100% slanderous, and we could never prove damage. And then about 8 months ago, a distributor told me that they avoided doing business with us for a few years because of a rumor that wasn't true.
Is that okay?
And so I think some of the hurdles are technical, like how do you do something? Like how do you make molds? How do you run a CNC machine? How do you qualify for the financing to get $150,000 mill? You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's the technical hurdles, and then there's the kind of the social hurdles, and that's where people, it's interesting to me that we have a generation of drivers that are incredibly talented.
Right.
And it's kind of like everybody wants to wear Jordans instead of create their own Jordans, right? Do you want to create Jordans, or do you want to just wear Jordans? And there's a few guys in our industry that are really skilled and talented and they've put in a lot of work. But I feel like there's a lot of people that don't understand where the real opportunities lie in our industry. You know what I mean?
Right. I get it completely, man. Because like I said, it's some things that I'm thinking about doing some stuff for us, like business wise, and trying to keep it in the RC industry too.
I would be careful. I think that there's nothing wrong with being passionate and creating products or services in our industry. But I just want you to know that, and I want other people to know, that are watching, to know that it can be incredibly difficult when you start a brand and your best friends won't run your stuff. They won't try your stuff. The only way they would try it is if you give it to them for a fraction. They will go pay full price for your competitor's product that's say made somewhere else.
Right.
But your stuff that's made right here in your hometown, they don't want to. You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And you learn some hard lessons. I mean, people that you think are your friends, like it can be, I'm not going to lie to you, buddy. It can be incredibly frustrating to see people. And then, there are times when there are times when like maybe you'll go out of your way to help somebody out. And then they may or may not appreciate it. Some people are so appreciative. It's so, when you do something nice for somebody and they're appreciative, it's like, it's so nice. It's so nice. It's so nice to see someone succeed with your products. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It makes you appreciate it. That makes you feel like, that your hard work done paid off, and then it makes you want to do more. You know what I'm saying? Help
Dude,
somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And it just, I get it, bro. I
people
totally
ask
get
me
where
all
you're
the
coming
time, they
from.
say, Jay, how come you don't race as much as you used to? And I say, you know, I race every day. Every time I see someone come off the track with a smile,
Yeah.
that there are a lot of times when it means more to me to watch you come off the track with a great big old grin
Uh
than
huh.
it does for me. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Like just seeing you have fun. It's fun for me watching people have fun with the products we've designed and manufactured.
Uh huh. So out of the all the things that's in RC, why did you go with the bodies, the tires? Why'd you choose?
Well, for a
Why'd you
variety of
choose that?
reasons, I think tires and bodies have a huge impact. I think that tires, you know, there's looking good and going fast, and
Right.
tires
Mm-hmm.
arguably are the most one of the most critical components to going fast. Bodies are looking good.
Right.
Uh, it's the landscape has changed dramatically. You know, with a lot of these smaller brands popping up, and I think I think we're seeing some evolution in our industry. So I'll be curious to see how this plays out over the next couple of years.
Okay. 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 From there, man.
I
What
think a lot of people think that making tires is way more profitable than it is. Like I've heard rumors like, oh, tires are a quarter a piece or something like that. And that's just not true. You can actually go weigh your tire, then call a rubber company and see how much rubber costs. The rubber is more than that.
I got you. So how do y'all how do y'all go about like choosing rubber compared to like
Well,
silicone compared to the others, materials that make up a tire?
sure.
How
Well, the first thing we do is we design a tire. We design a tire cosmetically,
mm-hmm.
and it's a little tricky because like to a layman, to a guy that's just buying a tire,
Right.
you might think, like as an example, I want to say there's been a couple of brands that have released 2 or 3 versions of the same tire, but
Right.
they're all slightly different.
Mm-hmm.
And even within that one company, these 3 different tires, they drive drastically different, right?
Yeah.
So the first thing you do is you pick a tread pattern that you kind of can rely on or you can kind of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we start developing rubber, we basically go out and we try to beat our current tires.
Right.
The first thing we do is we create rubber to make sure we're competitive with everybody else.
Okay.
If you're not competitive against everybody else,
It ain't gonna work.
you got work to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now once we put on, competitor A's tire, competitor B's tire, competitor C's tire, once we're as fast,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully faster, then we'll go out and we'll take our rubber and we'll just start working. We'll say, okay, so here's the base compound. Let's just say it's X.
Okay.
Well, we'll make it X plus a little bit of, stretch, X plus a little harder, X a little softer, X a little less stretch, a little, and so we'll have like this kind of like group of test compounds,
I got
and
you.
we'll go run them in a variety of locations and see, are they, sometimes to make a better rubber, it's not just necessarily more grip.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a tire that's more stable. Sometimes it's a tire that is more forgiving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a tire that lasts longer.
Yeah.
So that the customers actually have more value. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah. Yeah, man.
So I mean, if you could go out there and you could buy a set of tires that gave you perfect grip, but you only got one run out of them, would you want to run those?
No.
Maybe
no,
at a big race, you might run them for one race, right? One heat, right?
One heat. That's it. Then you gotta go get a whole nother pair.
That's right. That's right.
But
Foam's gone,
man.
wheels gone, tires gone.
Right.
Glue
That's
job
it.
is gone.
Yeah. So that's interesting, man. Because it kind of goes back to you finding, as far as racing, you finding that base setup, and then once you find your base setup, then you can adjust a little bit to each track.
Well, that's the way it goes. It's generally improvement isn't made a mile at a time. It's you make progress an inch at a time.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Back to the business aspect, man. What have been the highlights of having your own business like Raw Speed?
Just waking up and getting to go into the fantasy factory every day. Like think about this. You go to any of these, like basically any tire company on the planet that or at least in America that I'm aware of, except for Proline.
Yeah.
You wake up, you go in there, maybe they make a few things. Most of the companies import everything, right?
Right.
When I wake up and go to work, if I can dream it up, we can make it. We've got plastic injection molding machines, we got rubber molding machines, we've got CNC machine tools, we've got vacuum formers, like we got a CNC router. So if we want a new carbon fiber piece, we can dream it up, we can make it. If we want to cut a new piece out of aluminum, or we want to modify a tool, or we want to cut a new mold cavity for a tire, we do it right then and there.
Right then and
So, so that's what is so cool. It's like the ultimate like Lego set, I guess. You know, it's like you get to wake up and go to work and dream it up and kind of make stuff.
That's what's up. Yeah, man.
So so people say, Jason, why weren't you at the Nationals? Because I was making stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to stay home and make some stuff for the next race. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. I mean, that is it. We literally have we literally just finished our carpet tire here like 6 days ago. So we got a new rear carpet tire, and I'm working on the front one right now. So hopefully in a few more days, our new carpet front tire will be done.
That's what's up. Okay. Far as you having the RC business, man, what is the main thing that you really need to just to sustain your business, making it, you know what I'm saying, be, you know what I'm saying, consistent from year to year? So far, what have you feel that you really needed to make sure everything is sustainable from year to year?
I don't think people have any idea. I mean, I can tell you, I had no idea that it took 10 times more money to put the business together than I thought.
Yeah.
A lot of times the lead times are crazy. So like you might need to order plastics 2 or 3 months in advance. And by the way, if you run out of plastic, you can't make bodies. If you run out of foam, you can't sell tires. If you run out of rubber, you can't make tires. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so and if you have, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys working for you, if you can't make products, you can't pay your employees,
Yeah.
So it's no joke. I do think that there's been a sweet spot. I do think that like maybe I think that if we had to do it all over again starting today, I think obviously we could refine the process.
Okay.
But I think that a business like One Up Racing, something like that, would be the most profitable way to do it, because you basically you could have a shoebox with like, I don't know, $10,000 worth of products in it, right?
Right.
All you have to do is either design it or choose the colors of the equipment and the quality of the metal. Like, do you want high-end titanium or low-end titanium, right?
Right.
And you can have a bunch of colors, a bunch of variety for a relatively low investment. You could probably start a business like that for a few $1,000, maybe less. Think about it. You call up one of these manufacturers on Alibaba or something like that, because none of this stuff's made. These guys aren't making their stuff in their own facility. They're going on Alibaba. They're finding screw manufacturers, and they're saying, hey, look, I need 1,000 M3x10 titanium screws. And I need, I need 500 pink nuts. I need 500 green nuts. I need 500 purple nuts, right?
Yeah.
And then once you've sold them, you take that money and you buy 1,000 green nuts and 1,000 pink nuts and 1,000 purple nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they just doubling up,
Yeah. Well, just I wouldn't even say doubling up, but incrementally over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Increasing, right?
And I mean, like the bearing manufacturers, and I'm not. By the way, I'm not picking on these guys. I think that they have the right to do their business however they want. But like right now, if you wanted to just go and buy you can go and find anybody that imports anything in this country. It's not a secret. You can find any of that.
Right.
So you go and you just buy a bunch of ceramic bearings, and then you sell the ceramic bearings. It's more of a marketing machine in a merchant model. Like you have good marketing, and you're a merchant with good marketing, as opposed to, kind of like true design, manufacturing, and then production, like we are.
Right. Okay. So within that, this is kind of like something that really people don't really ask about, as far as when you like you said, like you just got your business started. Has it been influential people that have stepped in and help you on, step by step, doing different things that you really didn't think, or did you really think that that
I guess you need to be more specific.
Like, okay, say you trying to get everything, just like starting the business from beginning, starting it up. Has it been people that you have met on the way on in the process of starting it up that you really didn't think that would be there to like help you? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That
I don't think I mean, I think that like anything in life, you have
Mhm.
friends. Like you have friends, right?
Right.
And you might have a friend that is experienced in one area and not another. But none of my friends owned RC businesses, so it's not like they were going to teach me how to do it.
I got
I
you.
didn't
Yeah.
have any friends that were machinists, so I had to learn machining basically from YouTube and trial and error.
Yeah.
No one taught me mold making. I had to read all the books I could find about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so no one taught me tire design. I had to learn SolidWorks. Did I have friends that like maybe knew some SolidWorks? Sure, yeah. So if I got into a jam, they might give me some tips in SolidWorks.
Yeah.
But like I took classes for some of that stuff. Some of it I learned online. There's definitely no one that teaches you how to do this. That's not going
Right.
to happen. You're not anybody that could teach you how to build a successful business already has one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. So you just
It
had
would
to.
be incredibly. I mean, yeah, I can't even imagine if somebody said, "Hey, will you?" If someone came to me and said, "Hey, will you teach me how to build a successful tire company?" Well, am I going to help them compete against me? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, sometimes when you do stuff and
Well, I think we always. I don't think anybody.
some like I'm
You
saying, like
probably
some stuff you really didn't see coming, kind of like a blessing, like you know what I'm saying. This
no
person,
those are called getting kicked in the teeth. That's not that's not a blessing. That's called a curse.
I got you. So yeah, so
Yeah, I know that stuff
it's a
happens all the
grind.
time.
Yeah, it's a grind. Yeah, it
We're
is.
you're all gonna we are all going to face difficulties and adversity. Everybody does. Okay.
Right.
Nobody. I mean, think about this. Nobody has a perfect life or a perfect childhood. Like we look. You can either wake up in the morning and you can try to be the victim or the victor. Now, let me just tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Some days I am the victim, but I try to be the victor. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that you're going to face hard times no matter what. You're going to disagree with your friends. You're going to have problems with your vendors. You may have people that try to hurt you financially or lie or spread rumors. I mean, this is just the life. This is just part of being human. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
So,
I
and I
understand.
think you develop haters over time no matter what. Like I think it's incredibly rare for people to see someone succeeding and really truly be happy for them.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
I
that's
got
one thing that I think I am incredibly excited to see people do things and do it well. Like maybe because I've struggled and I've had so many hard moments. We've had problems with machines, we've
Yeah.
had problems with vendors. I mean, we've had a bunch of fraudulent orders. I mean, things were like lots of product go out the door and that money's just gone forever.
Got you. Yeah, it's
You
gonna be
don't
lost.
know
Right.
like there are so many lessons to be learned that I just don't think anybody ever really masters it all.
I got you. I understand that. It's whatever you want to do. We all gonna have to grind. If that's
That's
being,
it. That's
yeah.
it. We're all gonna have to
If
grind.
if we decide to want to be, the best RC car racer or the best basher, or if it in your own
That's it.
business
I
or
mean,
whatever field you want to go into, if you really want it, you got to go through those moments. You know what I'm saying? You got to go through the
if I
good
had to
and bad.
simplify
Yeah.
it down to the narrowest, kind of like cleanest, kind of like sentence, I would say this.
Yeah.
Whether it's YouTube or RC cars or being a martial artist or whatever, it doesn't
Right.
matter.
Yeah.
If you pursue the process will provide the result.
That's it. That's
The
how
process provides the paycheck. The
right.
process provides the right rubber. The process provides the right tire. The process provides the right turnbuckle. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just being really passionate about pursuing the process. It's being disciplined enough. If you chase the money can evaporate, or you can end up at the wrong kind of like end point. If you pursue the process, it's just a much more proven way to get to the, I guess, to at least lead you in the appropriate direction.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Next question, man. Okay, to the tires, man. What are your most popular tires for 10 scale right now? What?
Probably the radar rear and the stage 2 front for two-wheel buggy.
Mm-hmm.
for 8 scale buggy, it's almost always the Aurora or the Villain for whatever reason. The small pin or the big pin guys like that. But yeah, for 10 scale, it's either the Villain. I'm sorry, for the 10 scale, it's either the Radar rear with a stage 2 front,
Mhm.
or we've just got killer slicks. Our slicks have just worked really well over the years. The thickness, the shape, just yeah, our slicks have just been really solid.
Awesome, awesome. So, well, my original question was, what was the most popular like tire for dirt, and then
For outdoor,
yeah, for outdoor.
we have
What?
a pretty limited selection. Like our only true dedicated tire for outdoor right now is the Super Mini.
Uh-huh.
And we have a couple of other larger tread patterns coming. We have a Villain coming, and we have a medium pin coming. We got we have a small pin like the Super Mini, but we have a couple other tires coming right now. So we got so many tires in the works. That's another thing people don't realize, that if you really want to have a successful tire company, you can't have like 10 molds. You got to have like 200 molds. I'm not even joking, because
Yeah.
you got to have like indoor. So like think about 8 scale, just 8 scale, small pin, big pin,
Right.
small pin, medium pin, big pin, bar tire, high
Right.
grip.
Yeah.
Now do that for truggy. Now do that for 2-wheel rear, 2-wheel front, stadium truck, short course. And we didn't even talk about any carpet tires or drag tires or monster truck tires.
Yeah, that was my next question. The carpet and the drag tires. Are y'all
We've pretty much stuck with off-road racing. That's kind of where our focus is at. That's what we at the business are super passionate about.
uh-huh.
We have done some drag stuff and we've done some tinkering. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that when you're making stuff in America, I know I didn't realize this. When you're making stuff in America, it's tough. Every part of it's expensive. The design's expensive. The prototyping is expensive. The manufacturing is expensive. And so we try to just keep, you want a very broad product line, but you only want it as broad as it needs to be. I guess it probably doesn't, a little bit of a conundrum there, but but we have had some drag stuff, and we have done some experimenting. We have some new bodies and stuff that are in the works, some drag bodies and some short course bodies and stuff like that. But for the time being, yeah, there's so much to do that it just feels like we never making enough progress.
I got you. Let me holler. Hey, Techno RC, man. Hey, I put my email address in the chat box. Techno RC. Email me your address. He had won some tire. We had a giveaway in my last live. I did a giveaway on my live, and he had won some tires. I just need his information. You know what I'm saying? So I was telling him to Techno RC, email me your address so I can send you your tires that you won. That's my email right there, Techno RC. Dread24000 at yahoo.com. But yeah, man. Okay. So what tire are y'all? Okay, you say y'all mostly just really focusing on the dirt and the clay tire right now.
No, I would say just off-road in general. Now we've got a pretty solid indoor program, but we're really starting to focus more and more on 8 scale and on carpet.
Yeah. Okay. 8 scale and carpet. Okay.
I see Tyrone Robinson's on here watching. You know, I love Big Ty.
Yeah, Big Ty. Sir Turpelide. I got Supreme Capone just checked in. Techno RC. All the guys, Steve Harris in here. Yeah, man. Like I said, this is just a good group, man. That my RC family, man, they support me, so I can't do nothing but give them all the props and shout out.
Steve Harris, man, he's been on a tear lately. My man can drive.
Yeah, he doing pretty good. So yeah, so what makes the what 8 scale tire that's real popular right now?
I'd say the Aurora is probably our most popular tire, maybe followed by the Villain, or maybe vice versa. The Villain's kind of like a bigger lug. It's, if you're gonna drive, the Villain's nice because it lasts a little bit longer and it's forgiving. But I feel like the Aurora is a little faster.
Okay. Because that was my next question. What sets it apart from the rest of
your line? Just a smaller pin.
Uh-huh.
Just the smaller pin in general makes the tires faster. We have, there's a balance, right? And it's tough because I've watched this happen now for years. These top tier professionals go out there and they race and they qualify on tires that, like,
Right.
they're on these compounds. Most of the time you can get the compound. There are
Mhm.
times when these guys are out there on compounds that we can't even get. You can't even buy it.
Yeah.
But they last 5 minutes. How many guys are going to spend $70 to race for 5 minutes?
Man, nobody. You
Well,
gonna get old real
not many,
quick.
right?
Right. Yeah.
And so it's a little. Tyrone's saying that I'm frozen. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, no, you good on my end.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I think it did froze up for a second, and then
Okay.
it unglitched or whatever. But yeah, break it. Okay, it's some guys that ask me time from time. Core, how do you choose your tire for the situation? What tire would you use for like?
Sure.
Could you just give a quick,
Sure.
breakdown of what tread?
Well, first of all, if you're
What tire?
someplace that's indoor, that's
Okay.
relatively low dust,
Okay.
a bar tire is going to be the fastest. So for us, it'd be like a Radar, like a Proline Electron, or J Concepts Ellipse, something like that.
Okay.
If you're low dust and you're indoor, like OCRC, or from time to time, certain bigger events that are maybe covered, if you're relatively low dust, a bar tire, and the reason a bar tire works so good is it's got a ton of contact patch. Okay.
Okay.
There's a lot of rubber touching the dirt.
Okay. Okay.
If there's relatively low dust, if it's an absolutely super clean surface, then you might want to go with something that's a super high grip tire, like that has a lot of cuts, a lot of facets. There's a balance here, right? These
Right.
small pin tires do a great job at cutting the dust. They just don't last a super long time.
Correct. Right.
Unless the pins are super close together.
Mm-hmm.
We have a tire called the Assassin. It was originally based on our original Bite Force. We got a new version of it coming out.
Okay.
And it's a medium pin tire.
Yeah.
And it's tough because I feel like a lot of guys, they go and they choose the tire that they see the fastest guy using.
Yeah.
And that's not the tire they maybe should be on because of their skill level. Right? Like, let's just say you and I, let's just say we go club racing tomorrow and we're all out there goofing around.
Right.
Let's just say that for like 70% of the track, you and I, we're right in the groove. We're like 3 feet off the pipe, pretty close, right? We're clean, right?
Uh-huh.
But let's just say that there's 2 or 3 jumps that, like, we're going to be at the outside of the pipe, full roosting, okay?
Right.
Well, then maybe that small pin tire is not the best choice. Maybe you choose a little bit bigger pin. Now, it's not as fast in every single corner, but it's way more forgiving at cutting the dust when it gets thick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So generally, bigger pin tires are for more loamy, dusty conditions, and smaller pin tires are for lower, lighter dust conditions.
I got you. It's a funny
generally
thing.
Speaking.
Yeah, it's a funny thing you said that, man, because I was at a race last year and Jared Tebow, and I had he was passing by and I said, Tebow, what are you running for a tire? He was like, Corey, man, I'm running the bar style tire. And it was at AMS, and the track was like had a groove in the middle, but it was kind of cold, so the groove wasn't big at all. And he was saying, I'm running this bar style tire. He was like, well, it's the fastest tire core, but the thing,
yeah, but don't put it on.
He was saying, if you run this now, you're gonna have to stay in the groove.
That's right.
Right. He was saying, so if you can stay in the groove, run it. But if you're not, and if your skill level that you get out the groove sometime, it's not gonna be a good.
Yeah, and the thing is, those guys, Corey, they're like superheroes, man. Their skill set is so dialed.
That's what he was saying. He was saying, so you may just
gave you good advice though. That's great advice.
Right. He said, so you may just want to run like a small pin that cut through the dust just to keep you safe.
Jared still runs for AK, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, what do you say, like a Zip or maybe a Gridiron, or whatever their tires are, what I mean?
Yeah. So but yeah, bro. So So, okay, now we've been get down to business a little, some serious now.
Get down. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep it 100 and real,
Yep.
man. With all the good coverage that we got access to, with all the good races that we go to now,
Yep.
man, how come why do you feel the companies don't really work together to make it that much better for the beginner racer, somebody coming into it to export?
Well,
Why don't they work together to make this better? You know what I'm saying? They still can have the rivalries or whatever,
yeah.
and that would be better. They're just hype.
Buddy, I got to tell you, it's
What's,
never going to happen.
why not?
Um,
And that's gonna
it's a
that's
little
gonna make
heartbreaking,
them
isn't it?
that's gonna make them more money at the
Well,
end of
you
the
would
day.
think so, but you would think so, but let me ask you a question.
What's
How
up?
many pros does one tire company need? Do they need one? Do they need 10?
It just depends on what that company can afford. You know,
Well, no.
what's up?
Well, if Proline's a $30 million a year company, they can afford them
Okay.
all. Should they have them all?
No, I'd say 2 or 3. I mean,
So
really?
what would be the purpose then of having all of them or the majority of them?
Well, for them, it would be great because everybody's running the same thing, and that's going to
And then
draw
what?
somebody else.
Nobody else is running the other stuff?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be a lot more like a monopoly for it's kind of like the transponders and stuff like that. You know.
Well, I think that I had a pretty interesting conversation with Brandon Rhodey one day, the boss man over at Live RC.
Right.
And he said, Jay, he said, I think there are times when maybe the monopoly doesn't hurt. And I said, okay, well, let's hear it. He said, well, like transponders. He said, what happens if there were 10 different transponder like boxes and you had to have a different transponder for every track you went to? Like that wouldn't be very fun, right? That might segment the industry even further. So let's just say there was 3 tracks by your house and 2 of them used the transponders you had. You might never go to track number 3 because your transponders don't work there.
Yeah.
And so that makes sense. Like I buy
right.
it. Like I get it. I don't know if I like the word monopoly, but I think that I like the idea of standardization, not monopoly.
Okay.
Like there's a standard. Like you can make transponders that work with this standard.
Right.
But I don't know if I like the monopoly. But I understand. But I do get it.
So why do you don't think the companies they're not going to work together?
Well, I think before I say, Tyrone saying monopoly would cause a price gouge. Tyrone, you're probably not wrong for the record. And so if you have some type of specialty technology, maybe you have to charge a license fee to someone that wants to make a lower end transponder. But anyways, why do I think they won't work together? I think that in some ways these companies do work together.
Yeah.
I don't doubt that for a minute. By the way, I agree that $100 for transponders.
It'd be like that.
For the record, I fully agree.
Mike Walker, yeah, it's my partner.
Yeah. It feels like it's like $5 in technology, but whatever.
Yeah.
Why do I think that probably to some degree or another they do work together, but I guess what's your definition of working together? Give me an example of how you would like them to work together and they don't.
Far as like maybe working together, putting on a race more in front of people, like having a destination where it's not so secluded out in the woods to have a race where people can come and see what's really going on, what we really do. Both
If I
companies
told you that I was going to take you bowling and you had to polish the ball for 10 hours to throw it for 5 minutes, would you want to go?
No, but then again,
I don't think the companies working together are what's holding RC back from being a little more popular. I think that the fact is, in order to be so that Olympic athletes, they can train for 4 years full time. That's 2,000 hours a year. 4 years. That's 8,000 hours.
Right.
For usually about an 80 to 90-second performance. Okay.
Well, we do that. I mean,
I know.
Understand that if that's what you love to do, and That's how we race. We really don't get. That's another question on down the line. But go ahead, make your point. Go ahead.
I think the point is that I think that all of us, we're very competitive, we're very technical. And I think that RC racers in general, big and tall, old and young,
Yeah,
rich and poor, we're all a little bit about the same. We're the same type of personality. We're competitive and we're willing to invest time and energy into making that car great. And then we'll go out there and drive it. And I don't think that's incredibly common. Like let's just say you and I don't have
hmm,
any kids, but let's just say that we both had sons and we were going to take them to t-ball or baseball.
yeah,
We would show up to play baseball, and those kids, we would show up at 6 p.m. and they would actually play baseball for 2 hours, and then we would leave at 8 p.m. You know what I mean? The
yeah.
whole time they would be doing the main activity, or a big portion of it, right? They're not batting the whole time, they're not pitching the whole time, but they're kind of really
Playing,
involved. You know what I mean?
right? They
And
playing.
I
Yeah,
just think that RC is a very specialist type of hobby. That's all. I don't. I don't know if I don't know if we could get this in the Olympics if it would get as popular as we all like. Is this ever going to be Supercross? Is it ever going to be baseball? Is it ever going to be golf? I
no,
find it hard to believe that it would be, but I don't think that you know I don't think that's necessarily the goal. And I think something else to consider, Corey,
yeah,
when I go into raw speed, I've got
hmm,
two groups of people in mind. I've
right,
got my customers in mind. I got Tyrone Robinson in mind. I
hmm,
want to make good products because I want to see Ty. I want to high five when he comes off the driver's stand. Okay.
yeah,
I got my customers in mind, and I've got my employees in mind. I'm not believe me. Do you think that a hobby shop in, let's just say, Alabama, that's never carried raw speed products, do you think that they would care if I closed up raw speed tomorrow?
no, they probably would.
They wouldn't care at all. They don't care I exist. They don't it doesn't matter to them. And
Right,
so just the way our kind of country is set up is that we have to just take care of the people. We have to take care of our own little slice of our world, you know?
I
So
got
I
you.
do my very best to make good products for our customers that support us.
Yeah,
I do my very best to make sure that my employees have jobs that are safe and that I don't want to say that they enjoy, but I think that most of the guys that work for me in we're a pretty close knit family in there. You know what I mean?
right.
And so I think that I think saying, hey, look, if the companies work together and this and that, this industry, when we use the word club racing, keep in mind, club racing isn't necessarily the same racing as going to a local indoor track and competing. Those
Correct.
local indoor tracks are a for profit business, they're not a club.
Exactly. Yeah.
And this industry is just, think about it. Where are we going to get big pieces of land? I mean, if they said, "Hey, look, we're going to charge $100 for club racing," for your average everyday weekend race, would you go? Would you race two classes or just one? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, me, I love it, so I probably would go. But my thing is, if they can, I just feel like if we can organize races across the world, different countries, why can't we get together with companies and organize a race?
I don't. No
At,
one's saying we can't. I think we can. Tyrone's asking, "How did drones get to
right.
TV?" And the answer is
People put money
to
into
run it to fly a drone. It's like having a basketball hoop in the front of your house. You can go out in the front of your house and shoot hoops all day. There's no cost. There's no tires. There's no tire wear. There's no track required. You just buy your drone, you go out in your front yard and you fly it. You know what I mean?
it.
And
Hmm.
so drones, a lot of people don't know this, but the airplane market, like the airplane and the drone market,
Right.
is huge compared to the race market. The race market is a very small sliver of RC vehicles in general. Like the basher market, I was once told by a guy that worked at Tower Hobbies, they're gone now. Hobbyco. Remember
Hmm.
Hobbyco?
Right. Hmm.
The guy that ran like the battery division told me that they had a race battery
Yeah.
and they had a similar battery for like bashers. Man, I'm going to butcher this. So just take this with a grain of salt. But I think he sold like 50 to 1 or 60 to 1 bash batteries to race batteries.
I believe that.
So does that mean that the bash market's 50 times bigger? I mean, look how big Traxxas is. Let's take how big Traxxas is versus the very biggest RC race company. Are they even close? You know, I don't
Yeah.
know.
So what you think we should have more basher events, like organized basher events?
No, I don't think fundamentally. I think that it's interesting to kind of say this is what we should do and that's what we should do. I just think that as racers, I think that
Yeah,
what we should do is doing what you're doing right now, Corey. I think having fun conversations. I think when you're at the track
right.
and you see someone struggling, offer to help, man. Hey, do you do you need help gluing that tire? Do you need help tuning that engine? Especially in the nitro community. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's tough. It's tough.
yeah, man. Like I said, I just feel like just for me being just a regular racer, working 9 to 5 every day,
Sure.
but weekend warrior type guy, blue collar type guy. Um, I just feel like, man, it could be much better if companies do work together and put some money
But
together.
be
And
specific. It's you can't say what do you want the companies to do? And I'm not being critical here, but you say
yeah,
work together. But what does that
I mean,
mean?
like, okay, my definition of work together is putting money together, marketing an event, having an event, marketing it, putting it kind of like event maybe outside at a mall or maybe something kind of not as big as Six Flags, somewhere we can get a lot of traffic, people coming through and really seeing, kind of similar. Like Silver State is a very good start, but
What is the purpose? Why would you say a company spends marketing money?
because just to promote, let people know what's coming up,
They're
how
just
these
doing it.
how these cars work, like how they work, what benefit are you getting from RC. They can do all that run, especially for little kids that has, so to speak, now ADHD that can't sit down. Is marketing that showing the good of RC, how you can get these kids to focus. This is just an example to focus. And
Okay, so think about
my
this for a
thing,
minute.
my thing was that's what I mean by working together, as far as putting money together and having races like at, well, we can get a lot of traffic, people coming in and out, so they can really see what we do. And then
But
doing that, then they'll work together. They will make that company and in the day more money, more interest. It,
well,
it might
that's
not be
that's
it might
that's
not be
not
for race
necessarily
cars.
true. What
It may
happens?
be for your bash cars, or you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah,
then it would grow interest into the racing scene. You know what I'm saying, and it'd
yeah.
be more seen by more eyes than just where it is now. You know what I'm saying, if they did more marketing and promote it a little better. And then, like I said, I just feel like if me and you work together doing some tires, and we make a good tire, and then we go out and market it, put it out, and people gonna see how dang Corey and Jason really made some good tires. You know what I'm saying? They've been racing, and it's gonna make more money for both of us than just you making a tire by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the thing is, Corey, someone has to pay for the mold. Someone has to pay for the production. Someone has to pay for the
Right.
manufacturing.
And
And
that's
and
why
if
me and you working together to pay
yeah,
for all
but
those
how
things.
many? So the thing is, everybody says this kind of stuff, but
Mhm.
nobody's willing to risk their own money to do it.
That's what I'm
And the
saying.
thing is, the only reason a company would market
Yeah.
is to generate more sales, right?
That's
And the thing is,
right.
if you get somebody, so there's some very specific numbers that need to be evaluated in order to know if a marketing endeavor is going to be profitable.
Right.
Like, what's the average spend? What does the average RC racer spend on car kits annually? What does he spend on tires annually? You know what I mean? What is
Mhm.
his race frequency? How often does he go to the racetrack? Is it indoor? Is it outdoor? And it's just that everybody, I think, thinks. I hear people all the time that come up that people think that like an idea is worth $1 million. I
Right.
got to have lunch with a billionaire once, and you know what he told me? He said, Jason, ideas are a dime a dozen. It's the execution of an idea that is truly valuable.
Correct. And
And
that.
so
Mhm.
that's the tough part. Everybody has an idea, but when you ask them to risk their own money to do it, like I would encourage anybody, start an RC company, make a bunch of products, take the money from the products and invest it into marketing and try it. It just Nobody in the world, Corey, would be happier than me to see our industry grow huge. I think that
Yeah.
if you ask just about anybody that sees me at the racetrack, I'm almost always smiling. I enjoy being there. I
Right. I
like to
can hear
hang
it.
out. I don't care if you're on my stuff or somebody else's, but the the issue with growing the hobby, I think, is just this is a kid can go buy a copy of Call of Duty for $60 and play it for hundreds of hours. He
Mm-hmm.
can go, with $1,500 or whatever it costs to build a. I mean, what do you think? How much money do you think you spent on your one 8-scale buggy setup?
I mean,
Thousands.
yes. I mean,
You could buy a bicycle and ride it for like years.
Because we into this. We already know what's up. So we gonna buy, you know what I'm saying, pretty much the best stuff we can get because we already know. But somebody that don't know, if they go and see that, like I say, a race that's been promoted and been advertised, and they go see something, see a race that's going on and it's been promoted and advertised, and they can find out that, okay, you don't have to have the best stuff to get into this. You don't have to you don't have to buy the most expensive kit or whatever. We just want people to get into it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
We start off with short course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, I think that most people do. I mean, look at the tracks that Slash. I think that most people do start off with a short course.
Yeah, but if people don't see that, then how would they know? Like,
well, it's interesting because Traxxas has done exactly what you're saying, Corey. I mean, I don't think you're wrong at all. Yeah. I just think that I guess I don't know how to say this. I guess we've all seen Traxxas set up their display with like their metal ramps and stuff at different events. And like I see Tyrone said I had an idea of doing off-road at a Supercross event. Something like that, something like running an off-road event at a Supercross event or something like that could be incredibly influential.
It is. And like I said, I forgot the name of that race it's coming up, and it's gonna be held at I think at a motocross event. I forgot the name of the race. It's coming up like next month.
Yeah.
Either next month or I think maybe in September, something like that. But it's coming up, and they just in Live RC is going to really be over it and promote it and stuff like that. It's coming up soon. I forgot the name of that race. It's coming up real soon. But
just like the Vision RC Championship.
Yeah, that's like it. That's it.
Yeah, I just got an email for I just got an email about that the other day. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's great. I think it's great, but I think that it's not. I don't think you're going to see companies quote unquote work together only because of this. When you invest money into if I said, hey, let's invest some money in the market.
Yeah.
Would you invest in a stock that is like safe, that you're going to get a return on your investment? Or would you invest in a stock that you're like, don't know if you're going to get a good return? You would invest your money where you know you're going to get some money back. We both know, right? And so that's the issue. The issue is it's a tough situation because as a manufacturing company owner, I know that I can. Let's just say this. I could pay to put a banner up at a track. Let's just say 10 tracks charge me $2,000 a year to put up a banner. Okay, that's $20,000.
Okay.
Or I can make 2 new tire molds or something like that. Let's just say in my own shop with that same $20,000.
Yeah.
And now we can ship tires out all over the world. Where would you spend the money? Now those shops, by the way, their employees might be sponsored by other tire companies. They might not even sell our tires. What if they don't even sell our tires? So should we invest in that advertising at shops that we may or may not have support from? Or should we invest it strategically in new tools so that all the customers that already support Raw Speed have more tire options?
I mean, for business wise, you're going to make best decision is and keep your core happy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I see what you're saying.
So I don't believe me, Corey. I'm not going to pretend for a second that I have all the answers. I do not. I don't want to misrepresent myself. I for sure 100% don't have all the answers. All right.
Like I said, I understand, and this is why we do this. You
got to have these conversations. Right. I mean, this is the way you either you learn something new or you gain a new perspective is just by doing exactly what we're doing right here.
Right. So how would you expose the hobby as far as bringing people in? What would be a good way to do that? Just bring.
You know, the truth is, I don't know. I've seen some good ideas. The owner of a track that I used to race at called Leisure Hours used to have a rookie day, I think like once every 6 months,
Yeah.
and rookies would race for free.
Mm-hmm.
I think that hobby shops or track owners investing in a couple of either rental vehicles where you could either have a rookie day or have some type of a rental program or a bring a friend to
Yeah.
race day where maybe there's some type of incentive for the buddy to race the friend's car. So
Right.
like maybe we all race stock buggy and then there's like friend stock buggy, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And I just think that, I mean, let's be honest. What if I were to ask you, if you were to ask me what makes racing so fun for me? Look, I love being up on the stand
Right.
and
Yeah.
going back and forth with my buddies, whoever, right? We're
Mm-hmm.
all up there dicing it up, right? But I have as much fun when I walk down the stand and I'm getting knuckles from my buddy. Or maybe my buddy's telling me that I sucked, you know, whatever. It's
Just being there, the
I guess the
atmosphere.
point I'm making is I
Yeah.
have as much fun racing as I do socially. You know what I mean?
I got you.
Getting to see the buddies that you don't, you know, the guy that you don't, that he lives 3 hours away, you only see him once every other month. You know what I mean?
Right. I got you.
You get to
I'm
chat
saying.
it up with some guys you don't see too often. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or you get to walk over and you see some guy's got his Dremel out and he's like a ninja. He's making stuff for his car that nobody else has. You know,
Right.
it's like,
Yeah. So
I think there's more than one part of our hobby that makes it special. The racing makes it special. The social aspect makes it special.
Yeah. Right. You got it. That's it. So yeah, man. So okay. So truly, what do you think? How do you think the state of RC is in right now?
I know for an absolute fact that the racing market itself
Mm-hmm.
is in a little bit of a downtrend, a little bit of a holding pattern, because I've been told by a variety of, I'm not going to name names because I don't want anybody getting mad at me, but I know that some of the distributors are overstocked and some of the races, some of the turnouts are a little bit low for the club racing, like the local racing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, the big races still seem to just be doing really well. You know what I mean? Like the Psycho Nitros and some of the JBR. I think the JBR had hundreds of entries here recently. So I still think that all in all, it's going to be okay. I've always been told, you know, I don't know if this is true, but I've always been told that if the economy faces a downturn or a recession,
Yeah.
that people that race like real cars or motorcycles or like razors,
Mm-hmm.
they'll kind of downgrade into RC cars. So I've always heard that if the economy kind of hurts a little bit, that RC does okay. So I mean, like I can say right now at Raw Speed, we're a little slower than normal.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes. I mean, Lord knows I don't know how to predict the future.
I know we all don't, but you know. But okay, just moving on, man. As far as back on the race scene with the 10 scale stuff, man.
Yep.
Do you think it should be more 10 scale races, more outside, back outside than
I honestly, I would say that I'm indifferent. Where did you say you're at right now?
I'm in Alabama. I'm
in Bakersfield, California. Today I think it was 107 maybe.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that 107 is damn hot. And I'll tell you in Arizona, it's probably even hotter.
It's more hotter down here because we deal with the humidity.
Yeah, it's sticky. Yeah,
so,
I've been down there. I've spent my fair time in Florida, down in the south. Yeah, I think that RC racing should happen wherever groups of people want to congregate and have fun together. That's where I think it should happen.
Yeah, that's
carpet. I prefer dirt myself, dirt or clay, but I don't care. Wherever, carpet, astroturf, whatever, dirt. As long as you guys are out there, as long as we as a community are out there having fun, competing, helping each other out, I think that's a win. I think that's a W. You know what I mean?
That's it. I agree. Yeah, that's what's up. I agree to that. Yeah. So, man, like I said, I ain't gonna keep you all night, man.
That's okay. I'm here. I'm here for you, man. If you have questions, I want to answer them.
Okay. Well, just what advice would you give to a beginner driver? Just as far as like skill wise, getting them better, getting them into
I would say precision. If there's one thing I've learned, both like actively, directly, people telling me, teaching me, I'm super lucky. I've been able to make friends with some of the most talented guys to ever pick up a radio.
Yeah.
Some of the hardest working, longest lasting pros in the industry. And if there's one, look, there's no question that I love to watch raw speed. That's why I named the company Raw Speed. There's nothing more fun than watching somebody incredibly fast doing angry laps, right?
Yeah.
But let's be honest, what really wins races is precision, right?
What you
It's
mean by
the
precision?
ability to put the
Okay.
car in the same spot, in the
Gotcha.
same corner, lap after lap.
Okay.
And so I would encourage somebody that's coming up as a driver to work on that precision. And as your driving skills increase, you'll be able to go faster and faster while maintaining the precision.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. What advice would you give to pro drivers?
None. I
Being,
don't got no advice for those guys. They're faster than they'll ever be.
I mean, listen now. Okay, the pro drivers, what advice would you give to them just to be more approachable? And
can I say something?
To the non-pro driver?
Let me do this. How about this? How about not to the pro drivers? I'd rather say this to the audience. Imagine this. Imagine you're a drywaller and you're on stilts and you're putting your last piece of drywall up and you're going to get paid for the job and you're going to get, I don't know, $10,000. Imagine if some kid came along and rode his bicycle through the middle of your wall and destroyed it, and now you had to redo it or you couldn't get paid at all.
I got you.
I think what happens is as hobbyists, we don't realize it, but some of these guys, Ryan Mayfield and Ryan Cavalieri both have children. They both have mortgages to pay.
Right.
And so if they have a bad run or they have a piece of equipment that fails or they have another driver that ruins their run unintentionally, even though it was completely unintentional, the result is what matters. And the fact is they could easily lose thousands of dollars. I'm not saying it's okay to flip out and cuss and swear and act like a fool. I'm just saying if they're upset, I think we would be too. That's all. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do think that there are pros that are incredibly approachable. I think that like Ryan Lutz and Adam Drake and many of these guys are actually incredibly nice guys. If you just go up there and introduce yourself. One of the mistakes that I see guys do, or I've seen younger racers do, and I kind of feel bad for them when they do it, is sometimes younger racers, they won't actually watch the run.
Yeah.
And so let's just say a pro comes off the track, and let's just say that he was leading, and he makes two mistakes, and let's just say he finishes third. You and me, third's pretty damn good, right?
Yeah.
But if you walk up to that pro and say, "Oh, nice run," he's not thinking he had a nice run. He's thinking he just blew out and lost 2 spots. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I would say don't ever say nice run unless you've watched the whole run. All right.
I got you. But yeah, man.
Listen, this is just my opinion. Take it for what it's worth.
Right.
You know
That's why I'm asking. Just see what you think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So do you think the pros should? I know after they done racing and got everything done, whatever they need to do, you think they should go out and walk around, especially at these big races, and just mingle with the races, with the people? You think they should, go out and walk
I think
around,
if they did, man, I don't know. I'm not sure. A couple times in my life, I've met people that I really looked up to.
Yeah.
And I was really let down. They weren't as good of people as I thought they were. I built them up in my mind, and I thought they were good people, and I thought they were going to be just genuinely good people. And when I met them, they were kind of mean,
Yeah.
Maybe I caught them at a bad time. I think that a lot of people think because these guys are incredibly gifted at driving an RC car that they're good at everything else. And that's just not real. That's not realistic. You know what I mean? Just because somebody is good at driving an RC car doesn't mean they're a super nice guy. It doesn't mean that they're a great conversationalist,
Mm-hmm.
Like Corey, you probably take this for granted because you just happen to be good at it, right?
Well,
but But think about how many pros we never see on camera. Do you think if they liked being on camera, we'd probably see them on camera more, right?
Yeah, man. Like I said,
But
for me, this is something that have learned, and not really learned, but see, my situation is like I was younger diagnosed with dyslexia. You know
okay,
what I'm saying? But God done blessed me to be able to graduate college with
sure.
having that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. That's amazing.
and all this, but see, I've been kind of like in the spotlight because I played football, played up all the way up to the college level. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's the more I'm just on the fact now where I've learned just through experience, the more you do something, the easier it gets, kind of
Sure.
sort of. You know what I'm saying? So by me continuing to like talk with great guys like you and other interviews I've done, it's got a little bit easier,
Yeah,
easier
yeah,
to
yeah.
do. So, but if I'm saying like if the pros just did that and talk more, it would help them open up more. Like you say,
Well,
everybody
what
is not
happens?
like that.
What happens if they have a personality that's abrasive? What happens if people don't like them? I mean, it's look. So
You
I'm
are
not.
who
Look,
you are,
first of
you
all,
know.
for the record, I'm playing a little bit of devil's advocate, but I do agree with you.
I
Okay,
got the thing.
but
I
think
know what
about this:
you're doing. Yeah,
how often do we see all of the NBA players or all of the Major League Baseball players just come out and mangle in the crowd? How many? Let me ask you a question. I don't really have a dirt bike. I have a Sarah. It's an electric dirt bike, which is pretty
okay.
cool, by the way.
Yeah,
But they would never let me team hillbilly on the track with, say, Malcolm Stewart. Okay, it ain't
yeah, but
happening,
that's
right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
If they did, I'd be in the way, and that is something that is very different about RC. For some reason, they will let people whose paychecks are on the line race with guys who don't get paychecks, right?
That's true.
And so our industry is, do I think that the pros should be more approachable? Yeah, I think that there's a lot of guys that would love to go out there and pick the brains of people like Cavalieri or Dakota Fenn or Ryan
Mhm.
Mayfield and stuff like this. But our industry seems to be a weird hybrid. There doesn't seem to be a really good analog. I would argue that the closest analog is probably Supercross, maybe.
Right.
Like because they the qualifying, the jumping, I don't know. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it, bro. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
man, like I say, that's really all the questions that I really had for you
No,
tonight. And but do you mind taking some questions that some of the
no, dude. Ask, dude.
okay.
We're here. Let's do it.
Right, y'all. Hey,
If they
y'all, if
got
y'all
questions, I'll do my very best to answer it.
okay, if y'all got any questions, y'all put it in the comment section in the chat box, and I'll pop it up on the screen, and we'll do that for about 10-15 minutes.
What software are you using? Are you using are you using OBS or something like that?
No, this is called StreamYard,
Oh,
man.
StreamYard. That's right. You're
Yeah,
running through StreamYard. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
going to check this out. It's pretty cool.
yeah, man. So um, this is what I use, and it allows you to pop questions up on the screen.
Sure. I
And,
saw Mike Welker just said
yeah,
something we desperately needed all races as refs. And Mike, I couldn't agree with you more. Man,
right,
especially for some of these
big race.
higher level,
Yeah,
any of these professional level races should be refed. And I say this because when something shady happens or something that's maybe unclear, every one of us have been there. We've either like, ooh, did I bump that guy? Did I
yeah.
not bump that? Was he loose or did I bump him? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I 100% agree. 100% agree that we need refs for some of the higher level things.
Okay. Tyrone want to know, what do you think? What is the ideal format to sponsor a driver?
Tyrone, I'm not. Can you please elaborate a little bit more? I'm not. I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Pro class, intermediate, and minimum from Mike Welker. Yeah.
Yeah, my God. Yeah, he said pro
Yeah. So we'll
class.
give Ty a second, see if he can format that question. What is the ideal format? So I want if you guys think about this,
Go ahead.
um, sponsorship is a really interesting topic, and this is a trick question, Corey. If I were to ask you,
Okay.
what does high tech travel mean to you? What is a high-tech form of travel?
High tech, probably like one of those like expensive jets. You know what I'm saying? Like your own personal
Okay,
jet
I
or
agree.
something
Now,
like that. Or okay,
if I took you back to 1800, 1810, and I said, what's high-tech travel? What would they have said?
AT-10. That probably what a horse and buggy carriage or something like that.
Maybe the railroad,
Girl. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Agree?
Yeah.
Okay, so can we agree that the same words have two very different meanings?
Yeah.
High-tech travel in 1810 was railroad.
Mm-hmm.
High-tech travel today might be like private jet or something, or
Right.
spaceship or something, right?
Yeah.
I think what we're seeing is a change in our industry because sponsorship in the 90s meant you were so fast that you were either paid or all your products were free, period. There was no such thing as having to buy products and be sponsored, right?
Yeah.
These very few individuals had so much influence that companies would give them products
Right.
because when those individuals would win with those products, the rest of the world would then go buy that brand's products, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, now we have the same, if not less, you know, participants when it comes to racers, and we have 10 times more companies.
Right.
And so, really, sponsorship today has kind of become, to one degree or another, we still use the word sponsorship, but it still, to some degree or another, becomes uh, some form of like a relationship between a manufacturer and a driver where it's almost like a high level customer loyalty or brand ambassador type of a deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got you.
And sadly, there are those people that when they get a quote unquote sponsorship, they
Mm-hmm.
then start kind of like their attitude changes and they become like, I don't know, they're mean to other. I've watched people get sponsored and then yell at people and say, get out of the way, I'm sponsored. I don't have to pay practice fees. I'm sponsored. Like, that's not
What?
the goal. The
Right.
goal when I sponsor somebody, I see somebody and I say, hey, look, I think they'd be a great brand ambassador for our brand. They represent what matters to us. Tyrone Robbins is a perfect example. Tyrone is a super nice guy.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen Ty like having a bad time at the track. He tries hard. He's competitive. Just a nice guy, you know.
Yeah.
I know that if somebody is brand new at the track and they say, "Hey, man, can you lend me a hand or can you answer a question?" I know that Ty is going to sit answer that question, right?
Right.
No ifs,
It's
ands, or
but
buts about it.
right.
Uh, Unfortunately, you take the sponsorship thing, which is really a relationship between a manufacturer and a driver, and
Okay.
then you kind of combine this with the fact that who gets to why was it I just looked at a race here last weekend in Santa Barbara and the three sportsman guys were faster than the three fastest sportsmen were faster than the three fastest experts. How does that work? Why, so instead of just saying, hey, look, we're going to run 8 scale nitro buggy or 8 scale e-buggy, the race promoters have decided to break this up into 3 or 4 categories, and
Right.
everybody wants a trophy, everybody wants to win. So we have some challenges that I think need to be worked on, but I definitely don't have the answers.
Right.
What do
Yeah.
I think sponsor what do think sponsored drivers? Let me take a look through here real quick.
Okay. That's what Wayne RC was saying. What do you think of sponsored drivers that's in the sportsman's class?
Um, I think what's important is if we're being super honest, we just agreed that some of these products are expensive, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, when someone buys Raw Speeds products, you're paying for my guy. My guys have apartments and cars and they got to pay their bills, right?
Right.
The money stays in America. It doesn't go to China, doesn't go to Taiwan, stays in America, okay? How many guys couldn't afford to go play this game if they had to spend, I don't know, $80 or $90 on a set of truggy tires? I think quite a few. I think
Right.
there's a lot of guys out there that just couldn't do it.
Right.
Or they would have to do it much, much less, right?
Right.
And so I think that to some degree, I'm helping people go have more fun. If they're willing to be, I guess, loyal to our brand of products and they're
Uh-huh.
willing to be a good brand ambassador, we as a company are willing to help them go have more fun. How's that sound?
Yeah.
For the same money spent, they can race more classes, they can race more frequently or whatever. We're putting more of that money in their pocket rather than them having to go pay retail at some shop that's 30 miles from their 8-scale track.
Okay. To race. My trade off is
Buggy Brent said, I'd say it's like a team. And that's true too. There's no question that when someone runs our stuff, if they're in a jam, they can email into us or they can reach out to Dalton, our team manager, or Chevelle, who handles a lot of our stuff here on the West Coast, and they can get support from guys that are completely capable. You know what I mean?
right. I got you. Yeah, man. So so it's needed. It's needed. It's needed. It's needed.
So
but yeah. If y'all got any more questions, y'all go and post them right quick. But so far you thinking about getting back on the track, or you just gonna wait until you get the gas truck going?
I've been running a little bit. I went and ran at Channel Islands a month or two ago, and I broke the car, which is a bummer. I didn't have parts. Then I went to Thunder Alley, and I finished up second in e-buggy out of like 30 guys. It was pretty competitive. This is about a month ago, and I'm probably going to get back out here pretty soon. Some of the guys that work for me have been racing a little bit more. I really love e-buggy. You know, I like nitro, but you need a pit man. You need to tune your stuff, and it's a lot more effort. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I was gonna ask you about that. I think
I'm an e-buggy guy. I know it's the hillbilly class, but I'm an e-buggy guy.
Mike Walker said, in his opinion, it's not so much a sponsorship.
Mike Walker says, in my opinion, it's not so much a sponsorship, but a contract customer. Yeah, Mike. I think it depends on if your glass is half full or if your glass is half empty. You're not wrong. A contract customer, you could say that for sure, but what it really comes down to is, does the person have does it improve their experience in our industry?
Mm-hmm.
If a guy says, hey, look, I can race once a month if I go pay top dollar to, let's just say, a hobby shop that's not on site, say 30 miles away, 40 miles away, right?
Right.
Or if they agree to wear the raw speed baseball hat, treat people good and be respectful, we in exchange get someone that's loyal to our brand that uses our products, and they get them for a relatively large discount. So it's tough. You know what I mean? I respect all sides, and everybody has a right to an opinion. So I'm not here to tell anybody what's what. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And not only that, but when companies come in, let's just say that they're Taiwanese owned or they're Chinese owned, and they start throwing around these crazy deals, that we still live in a market economy where supply and demand rules. So if somebody starts doing something and they start kind of gaining a big chunk of the market, we have no choice as manufacturers but to respond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's right.
So
yeah.
But
yeah, if y'all got any more questions, y'all put them down if you got any more. But if not, then hey man, this has been great.
Dude, I appreciate you having me on, Corey. I really do. I wish it's, for the record, it's completely my fault. I thought we were doing this sooner. I blew out on you, Corey. I thought we agreed at 5 o'clock last Saturday. So it's my fault, 100%.
Man, it's all good. It happened when it's needed. It was needed to happen tonight, so it happened tonight. So
if you need anything, if you have questions, if you want to do this again, if a topic comes up that you guys are interested in chatting about, you let me know and we'll make it happen, okay?
Bro, like I said, man, I'm definitely gonna keep in touch because I just want to get some more info, just how to do some things around here.
Yeah, just like I said, my social media doesn't, the notifications aren't on. So just shoot me a text or something like that, and I'll do whatever I can to help you out. Okay, Corey?
I got you. But hey, y'all, we finna close it out, man. And like I say, as always, hold on, Tyrone got one more question.
Oh man, we got a gang of stuff going on, Tyrone. We got new buggy bodies. We got new buggy bodies. We got some mini bodies. We got all kinds of stuff. We got some new tires. We're always working on new stuff.
But yeah, tell everybody a little bit again about Raw Speed and what you got coming up and what's about to
we've got a couple of new 8-scale tires coming. We've got some new carpet tires coming. We've got 8-scale buggy bodies, bruggy bodies, some mini bodies. We've got some new plastic parts coming. So we're just doing as much as we can. One thing about Raw Speed is I try to import as little as I possibly can. I want to make as much as we can in-house.
Okay.
I think there's like two types of RC companies. There's companies that mainly import stuff and they sell something that somebody else makes.
Okay.
And that's like a lot of the hardware companies. Nobody's making hardware, maybe Lunsford, but nobody has machines to say make these screws, right?
Right.
But then you have companies that actually make stuff, and that's us. And that's what I'm really proud of. I'm proud of the fact that we dream it up, we draw it up, and we manufacture it right here under our own roof in California. At least the vast majority of our stuff we do. And I'm working hard every day to make all of it under our roof. So someday, every single thing we sell will be made right here
Made
in Bakersfield, California.
That's awesome. That's
all
awesome.
right.
Y'all heard it. Hey, man, we appreciate it, Jason, man. And like I say, man, like I tell everybody, you know, let them haters be your motivators. Actions always speak louder than words. You
Ain't
know
that
what I'm
the
saying?
truth?
And if you ain't ripping, you tripping. And
all right.
like I say, treat people the way you want to be treated. And we out, man. Jason,
right,
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Thank you, Corey. I'll see you later, buddy.
Okay. Thank you, y'all.
Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. Later.